Official records show one UK city logging over 250 crimes per 1,000 people in certain districts, while another sees violent crime barely reach 10 per 1,000. District-level figures can be skewed by factors like tourist daytime populations, and datasets may define offenses differently, but the contrast still raises questions. Some of the most surprising results aren't in the places you'd expect. In the next few minutes, we'll compare 3 unexpectedly calm cities with 3 where everyday life is still shaped by crime. Let's start with the safest cities. Number 3, Exeter. With around 11.5 violent crimes per 1,000 residents and total recorded crime of roughly 77 per 1,000 in some national data sets, Exeter regularly appears among the safer urban areas in the UK. Yet it still has a lively university presence and a busy historic core, with a steady flow of shoppers, events, and visitors throughout the week. Rather than this activity leading to trouble, visibility plays in its favor. The compact layout keeps most public spaces well overlooked, and police patrols, on foot and on bicycles, are a familiar sight, even in quieter streets. Owen's data places its violent crime rate well below the national median, and property crime remains low compared to many similar-sized cities. Research points to several contributing factors. Lower unemployment rates reduce some of the pressures that can drive opportunistic crime, while local volunteer initiatives, such as nighttime marshals supporting people after nights out and resident community watch teams sharing intelligence, keep communication with police active. These measures create a network of informal guardianship that larger or more fragmented cities often struggle to match. It's a reminder that surface impressions can be misleading, something that will become even clearer when we look at a place with a similar sense of order, but far less favorable numbers. From here, we move to another case where low crime is part of the story, but geography and infrastructure shift the picture in a different direction. Number 2, Woking. Just 25 minutes by train from central London, Woking pairs suburban quiet with the kind of services you might expect in a larger city. For many, it's a place glimpsed on a departure board rather than a destination in its own right. Yet behind that modest image, it consistently appears in composite national indexes that weigh crime rates, ambulance response, and road safety, often near the top. One such dataset puts its total recorded crime at about 64 per 1,000 residents, well below the national average. Rather than a single reason, several factors work together here. Commuter-linked employment helps sustain a relatively affluent local economy. Stable public services keep resources flowing, and close links between police and community groups maintain everyday visibility and trust. These layers combine to produce strong safety scores while keeping infrastructure responsive. In the same indexes, Woking's performance on emergency service times and its below-average rate of serious road incidents add to its standing. For anyone weighing commuter towns as an alternative to busy city centers, Woking shows that proximity to a major economy can coexist with low crime and efficient services. That said, being close to the capital doesn't guarantee safety everywhere, and ward-level data often reveals pockets with higher risks, something worth checking before making a move. Places like this underline how safety can thrive in very different environments. Next, we head to a city with an entirely different backdrop, one where historic attractions draw millions each year, yet the crime picture defies what those crowds might suggest. Number 1, York. York's recorded crime levels have been measured at roughly 3/4 below national averages in some analyses. In certain datasets, violent crime is around 8.2 incidents per 1,000 residents, and property crime sits close to 22.1 per 1,000, figures that place it firmly among the safest cities in the UK. For a place surrounded by medieval walls and hosting millions of visitors each year, that's notable. Tourists fill its lanes, cafes, and landmarks daily, yet reports of pickpocketing or street scams stay low. A tailored mix of visible patrols and discreet CCTV, integrated carefully within heritage areas, keeps surveillance effective without altering the city's character. Its layout plays a clear role. York's compact, walkable center and extensive pedestrian zones make it easier to spot and respond to problems quickly. Research also points to the close partnership between police and local hospitality businesses, where secure instant messaging lets venues warn each other about suspicious behavior in minutes. Combined, these practical measures maintain order even at peak tourist times. For viewers thinking about relocating or investing, York shows why analyzing both layout and tourism management can reveal strengths you might miss by looking at crime rates alone. But safety profiles aren't uniform across all UK cities with big visitor economies. In some, the same crowds and cultural energy that drive growth also coincide with far higher crime rates. A contrast worth keeping in mind as we move on to the most dangerous cities. Number 3. Manchester. Manchester's citywide crime figures vary by source. Many lists put it in the low to mid-hundreds per 1,000 residents. But the consistent finding is that its busiest nightlife zones and concentrated student districts record the highest rates. Known for its music scene, packed stadiums, and buzzing entertainment venues, the city rarely sleeps, which means police resources are stretched across both daytime commerce and late-night crowds. That split creates a clear contrast. Districts around the clubs and bars see spikes in assaults and theft, especially at weekends or during major football fixtures, while some residential wards a short distance away remain relatively calm. Dense housing, heavy visitor turnover, and areas with concentrated student populations can all increase opportunities for opportunistic crime. Experts note that headline citywide statistics can mask these neighborhood-level differences. A tourist map of the city won't show you the hotspots. The police map will. If you're considering living, studying, or investing here, checking ward-level data on police.uk or ONS statistics before making decisions is essential. Manchester still offers rich opportunities in business and culture, but safe navigation depends on knowing where risks cluster and when they increase. That attention to local geography is just as relevant in other major UK cities where growth, diversity, and urban scale create complex safety challenges. And in some cases, conditions that push citywide crime rates into similar territory. Number 2, Birmingham. Birmingham is repeatedly highlighted among cities with higher than average recorded crime, with reported totals varying by dataset but commonly appearing in the low to mid-hundreds per 1,000 residents. As the UK's second largest city, it is a hub for manufacturing, finance, retail, and education, attracting people from across the country and beyond. This scale and diversity bring vitality, but they also shape the pressures that the city's safety services face. Population density, pockets of deprivation, and neighborhoods where drug-related activity is concentrated contribute to higher recorded levels of violence and robbery than in many similarly sized cities. Youth violence is a concern in several districts, with police highlighting links between gang recruitment, territorial disputes, and street-level crime. Regeneration efforts continue across the city, particularly in and around the center, where redevelopment has added housing, public spaces, and new transport links. Alongside this, standard responses include targeted police patrols in known hotspots, expanded CCTV coverage, and youth engagement programs aimed at prevention. However, improvements tend to be localized, with overall citywide figures showing only gradual change. For people thinking of living or investing here, citywide averages tell only part of the story. Ward-level trends vary widely, and regeneration work can dramatically change local conditions over time. Checking the latest police and ONS data before making decisions can give a clearer picture. Some urban centers contend with even steeper safety challenges, where concentrated problems in certain wards drive citywide rates to the very top of national lists. Number 1, Bradford. Bradford often appears among the highest overall, with figures reported around 128 crimes per 1,000 in several datasets. This standing has proved difficult to shake, reinforcing a reputation that both residents and city leaders have worked to address. The problems most often highlighted in official reports include knife crime and organized gang activity, with many of these incidents concentrated in a small number of inner-city wards. These patterns are closely tied to socioeconomic pressures, such as higher unemployment rates and concentrated deprivation in certain districts, which in turn place heavier demands on policing and community services. What looks like one city on a map can be many cities on the ground. Some wards show severe levels, others are far closer to the national average. This uneven geography is part of why Bradford's safety record resists quick fixes, even as regeneration projects and targeted policing work continue. There are local initiatives making a visible difference in certain areas. Outreach programs aimed at young people, community-led neighborhood watches, and events to reclaim public spaces all contribute to gradual, place-specific improvements. These successes, while limited in scope, demonstrate that targeted action can shift conditions locally, even if it has yet to transform the wider statistics. Bradford's story is a reminder that crime numbers are not shaped by policing alone. They reflect deep-rooted economic, social, and spatial realities. Understanding those layers matters when comparing cities or charting progress. And it's a perspective worth keeping in mind as we take a step back and look at the broader picture. Safety across UK cities is uneven and constantly shifting, shaped by local economies, demographics, and policy choices. Some areas maintain strong records thanks to stable communities and consistent policing, while others face persistent or emerging challenges. Use trajectory, not just current rank, when deciding where to live, invest, or spend time. Comment below with your city and whether the numbers match what you see locally, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more data-led city comparisons.